Hello everybody, welcome back to Read and Reread. My name is Angelia and today I have the most glorious December haul. So I'm going to get into it in just a minute and explain all of the backstory behind this haul. But first of all, I just want to welcome you to the channel. If you are new here and you enjoy this video, please like and subscribe. And I really appreciate the comments too. This is my first year on BookTube. I started, I think, around April. And I am in complete mystery at all times about the workings of the YouTube algorithms. I don't know. Like, I look at them and like the last few videos I did are like half of the views of the ones right before them. And I don't know if that's like the holidays or they look super boring or they didn't get into the algorithms of people's feeds, or I don't know how these things work. So I don't know. I just appreciate everybody who comes and watches and likes and comments and subscribes. So thank you so much for doing that. All right, so on to this haul. This is a large and glorious haul, and it's a Christmas haul. So the first several books are gifts that I received for Christmas this year. And then the second half of the haul is what happened at the Barnes & Noble 50% off hardback sale, which is actually still going today. But I'm not going back because I've already been twice. So I have to stop. So anyway, let me just show you. So first of all, there were some books that I received as gifts, and they were very exciting. And we had a very nice bookish Christmas. We decided, here I go off on a tangent, but we decided not to travel. We decided that in advance. And then we were really reinforced in that decision by the weather, and then Stephen got some kind of nasty crud, and so we were glad we didn't go and spread it throughout the extended family. So it was just me and Stephen and Emma Grace, and we all did exchange books as part of our gifts. So I will show you what I received. All right, first of all, due to my relentless hinting, I did finally get Demon Copperhead by Barbara Kingsolver, and I'm so excited to finally get this book and to read it soon. And, you know, this is on so many people's top lists and all kinds of high praise. And I like this author very much. So I'm very excited to have my chance to read this. And you would have had to have, I mean, I think everybody, even in the world of BookTube, knows that I wanted Demon Copperhead for Christmas. So anyway, I got it. Here it is. Also, I received from Stephen How High We Go in the Dark by Sequoia Nagamatsu. And I've had this on my list for several months. It is a speculative fiction book, and I don't completely understand the format. I think that it is sort of like interrelated short stories that kind of bind together to make a novel. And it has to do, okay, I'll just read a little piece of this. It says, it follows a cast of intricately linked characters over hundreds of years as humanity struggles to rebuild itself in the aftermath of a climate plague. So it is, I think, post-apocalyptic, and I have not heard a ton about it, but when I do hear somebody speaking of it, it is with high praise, and I love this kind of fiction, so I have been wanting this for a while, and I'm very happy to have received it. Then Emma Grace came along, and she gave us a couple of books, and they're kind of like mutual books for both of us, and we're excited about these as well. She, first of all, this is kind of a funny story. So she gave us a cookbook, and it's One Pot Vegan. So all of the recipes are things that you can make in just one cooking pot. And I love that kind of a recipe that doesn't use every single pot and pan and implement in the kitchen. And we like to cook, but we also like it to be quick and fun. So we were really excited about this. But the funny thing was, she gave us a fiction book and a cookbook, and we gave her a fiction book and a cookbook. And the cookbook that we gave her was like, I think it's called Vegan You, and it's sort of a beginner's cookbook because she's just sort of starting out with cooking for herself. But the format and the visuals are really, really similar, where it shows like the ingredients and then the finished product. And she was opening hers first, and I was saying, oh, I just really like that. Maybe I'll go get one for me. And then lo and behold, I got a cookbook that looks very similar. So I don't need to get the other one because I will be busy trying recipes from this one. Then she also was bold and picked out a fiction book for these heavy readers. And she nailed it because neither of us have heard of this book or this author, but we're very, very intrigued. And that is Scatterlings. The author's name, okay, I don't know if I'll pronounce this correctly, but it's Resoketswe Manenzhe. And I hope I didn't butcher that. But this is a South African author. And the premise says, in 1927, South Africa passes the Immorality Act, which prohibits sexual intercourse between Europeans, white people, and natives, black people. Those who break the draconian new law face imprisonment, up to 5 years for men and 4 years for women. And then it's about this couple that are an interracial couple with children already, and they wonder, how is this going to affect our pre-existing life now that we've been criminalized? And it has a lot of profound impacts on them and everybody else, and their marriage. So this looks really, really good. I think she did a great job. She went to Book People in Austen to pick out these books, and I'm very pleased with her selection. Also, Santa left me this nice calendar, Bibliophile Diverse Spines 2023 wall calendar. I keep a calendar right over there. And this is pretty cool. Some of the months are kind of like book stacks, but I'll just kind of zoom in for a minute. You see there's like really cool selections in there. Sometimes there's more of a theme, like February it says legends. So I'm going to really enjoy this all year on my wall. And hopefully I will also use it and put dates that I forget, like, book Zoom meetings and things like that. So that is what we were giving each other as gifts. Then, so everybody else, we all got books, and I won't go into everybody else's books because the video will take 100 years, but we were all very happy with our books on Christmas morning. Then the Barnes & Noble After Christmas sale came along yesterday, and I wasn't sure if they were going to do it because they don't announce it until the day of, because I guess they don't want people to deliberately hold out and not buy things until then. So even on Christmas Day when they're closed, they don't announce it because I guess people are online using gift cards and stuff. But then for those who are patient, on December 26th, lo and behold, the sale has begun. So we actually went twice because the first time, now let me back up a second. If you have been watching my videos, you may recall that when we went to Thanksgiving, we had a flat tire surprise on our way home, and we had to find a discount tire and buy new tires. Well, Emma got up on yesterday, and she needed to get back home. She's got like a 3-hour drive, and she was working later in the evening. So we got her all loaded up, ready to go. And then Stephen decided to check her tire pressure right before she leaves, and he found a nail in her tire. So we had the tire surprise again. So we took her car to Discount Tire, and it was going to be like an hour and a half. So we said, well, let's go over to the book sale. So we went over there, but then the tires got finished faster. So I wasn't done. So we bought a few, and then we got her on her way, and then we went back to the sale after lunch. So here's what we purchased. The parameters of this sale were it was just hardbacks. I mean, I think some other things in the store were on sale, like games, but as far as books go, it's hardbacks only. So there's some books I really want that are only in paperback format, like Dr. No by Percival Everett. And so those I did not get. And then there were some that I wanted to look at, but they just didn't have them. So out of the ones they actually had, and then after some harsh cuts were made, I know it won't look so harsh by the size of this pile, but things were left behind. But here's what I bought. All right, first of all, I got The Marriage Portrait by Maggie O'Farrell. This was another book I've been very eager to read, and I wanted to own it because I love Hamnet so much. I got Hamnet just randomly at a library book sale, read it late in the game after everybody else had already read it like last year, but I loved it, and so I really wanted to own my copy of The Marriage Portrait, and I'm hoping to read it very soon. Then also a newer book that we were both interested in is Signal Fires by Dani Shapiro. This book came to my attention because it was in Maureen Corrigan's top books of the year, and I really do find her to be a reliable book reviewer for me. I like her reviews on NPR, and when she releases a list, I always take a good look at those books and see which ones seem like a good match for me. I don't think I've ever read a book that she said was one of her favorites and then I didn't like it. So she's one of my reliable sources. And so Signal Fires was on her list. And I'm not sure if I read any other book by Dani Shapiro, but it says that it begins with a summer night in 1985. 3 teenagers have been drinking. It could have been me if it was a summer night in 1985. One of them gets behind the wheel of a car, and in an instant, everything on Division Street changes. Each of their lives and those that of Ben Wilf, a doctor who arrives on the scene, is shattered. For the Wilf family, the circumstances of that fatal accident will become the deepest kind of secret, one so dangerous it can never be spoken. And then time moves on and different things happen to these people. So that sounds super intriguing to me. And it's kind of a thin one, but both of us want to read that. All right, then I did pick up a cloth-bound classic, Penguin cloth-bound classic edition of Persuasion. I'm kind of gradually getting the cloth bounds of Jane Austen, and so whenever I get a chance, I kind of add one on. So I did get the Persuasion because that's the one I feel like reading next the most, so that's why I picked that one. Another thing that came to my mind while we were shopping was the fact that we don't have a copy of Mouse, and I've never read it. Steven's read it, but I have not, and we didn't have it. And so we started looking for it in the graphic novels, and we couldn't find it. So we did ask someone working at the store, and it turned out it was in the history section. So this is Mouse 1 and 2, and I now am a proud owner of this book, and I will be reading it this year. And I'm just, again, how many times have I said I'm really excited? But I am really excited that I thought of that while we were at the sale. All right, then I did get a nonfiction book. This was also on Maureen Corrigan's list, but I've heard a couple of other people talking about it, and it just sounds really fascinating, and that is The Facemaker by Lindsey Fitzharris, a visionary surgeon's battle to mend the disfigured soldiers of World War I. Now, I know that I've encountered that topic in fiction a lot, and also in nonfiction historical things that I've read about the just hideous injuries that some of the soldiers suffered in World War I, and it I guess spurred the pioneering efforts of reconstructive surgery. And that is what this is about. A pioneering plastic surgeon, Harold Gillies, who dedicated himself to reconstructing the burned and broken faces of the injured soldiers under his care. So, and it says, at a time when losing a limb made a soldier a hero, but losing a face made him a monster to a society largely intolerant of disfigurement, Gillies restored not just the faces of the wounded, but also their spirits. So that sounds very interesting to me. And I don't read a ton of nonfiction, but I do read a few every year that just really call out to me. So I was really happy to find this. I found the last copy. I was also looking, the other nonfiction that I wanted to take a look at, I could not find anywhere in the store, and that was the book by Ed Yong that's on a lot of lists. I think it's called The Immense World. I'll double check on that. But that sounded really interesting to me as well, but I could not find it. But I was happy to find The Facemaker. And then I went back to that table of Penguin cloth-bound classics, and I got myself The Count of Monte Cristo. Woo! And I have never read this, but I've never heard somebody say they were disappointed in it either, and people seem so excited about it when they talk about it, so passionate about it, and people swearing that it is a fast-paced read despite its immensity. So I don't know exactly when this is going to fit into my reading year, but I do want to read it, and I needed to have it on hand so that when the moment was right, I was ready to go. And so now I have it as well, and I just couldn't pass up, 50% off. And then last but not least, hopefully, this is kind of a wild card. This was not on my list of things I was looking for, but Stephen picked it up and was very interested. And another thing that we kind of had a few that were sort of maybes, and we were looking at this one and another one, the Whalebone Theater. And this one had stronger reviews, including the prestigious Kirkus Star. We, as retired librarians, place a lot of stock in that Kirkus Star and are influenced by it. We had not read, neither of us have read anything by this author, but I'm aware of her. I've heard of people talk about various books that she has written, and this is about, it says, one shipwreck, two misfits, 3 centuries apart, based on a real-life event. So we have 1629, an orphaned girl named Macon, bound for the Dutch East Indies on a ship. And then 1989, a lonely boy named Gil, who after the death of his mother is sent to live with his grandfather, a taciturn fisherman off the coast of Western Australia. Now, I have heard that the book is sad, but so I'll have to read it when I have the sad story capacity. But those can also be very beautiful stories, so I hope that it is good. Somebody let me know if you've already read this, and I hope you're not going to tell me something awful. Because this was the one where we're just like, yeah, let's just try it. So the rest of them were like officially on some kind of list of things I was looking for, and this one was the one that was like, this sounds good. So that is it. And I am very busy with other things today, so I will not accidentally stray back in and look for yet more books, because there was more. I had to, I'm not made of money, so I had to stop. But I'm very happy with this haul. If you also went to a book sale or got a lot of great books for gifts, I'd love to hear about them. And I guess that's it for now. Thank you so much for watching, and I hope that you have a wonderful day with good reading. Thank you. Bye-bye.